So when I was reading your comments on the Olivia Rodrigo video, as I often do, I read almost every comment that comes through on my YouTube channel. I read something that said that I should check out the full performance of Olivia Rodrigo at the Ace Theater because there was a really cool section in there where there was like a question and answer. They answered a lot of production questions, a lot of cool things. They talked musically. And I was like, I love that. And I think that's what a better way. I don't know if there is a better way to get into the inside the mind of an artist than hearing them talk about the music, especially answer questions by fans, because the fans usually have the greatest questions, and then you can kind of get an authentic answer from the artist where it's not like a scripted kind of interview, which is still authentic, but there is some natural candidness to like answering questions off a cue card or something. So today we have Olivia Rodrigo and Dan Nigro, her producer and co-writer on a couple tracks, talking about their songs. I haven't seen this yet, so it's going to be my first time seeing it. But one of the things I just want to say before we even get into it is I'm really like the fact that Olivia is including Dan in this process. She very well could have been like just answered the questions herself and said we as a team, or even I did this and I did this, or we did this. But like the fact that she has her producer and co-writer on the stage is a really humble act, to be honest. I think sharing the credit. Which is really cool. You don't see that a lot. You don't, and anywhere really. Like, producers are everywhere. 95% of musicians don't produce their own music. It's a very rare thing because they didn't learn it. They're more the artist, the creative, the writer. They didn't learn how to track a guitar or like to layer guitars or how to mix things here and there. Like they didn't learn that part. They didn't need to. I learned it out of necessity because I couldn't afford to do it anywhere else, and then I just became good at it. It became part of my creative process. But like many artists don't know how to do this. So like most artists that you see, they're on stage answering questions with the music, or they'll say, "Oh, my producer did this." But to have your producer on stage, I just think is a really class act. So let's get right into this. This is Olivia Rodrigo and Dan Nigro answering some questions.
Okay, we've reached the Q&A portion of our night.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for writing questions.
Where was this filmed?
All right. The very, very serious. These are the most serious questions I've ever heard in my life. I was told in the rehearsal I have to stand straight.
Okay, we're standing straight.
Standing very straight. This is a very straight. Olivia, what song on Guts are you most excited to sing on tour?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, I am the most excited to sing All American Bitch on tour. I'm very excited for that. I think that's gonna be so fun. I get so like angsty and like enraged when I hear that song.
You guys are gonna practice your screaming for the tour, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Get those pipes ready, you guys. What are you excited to play on tour, Dan?
Me?
Oh.
I get to play on tour? Do I get invited on tour?
Yeah, come on tour.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. I was like, I didn't know Dan was going on tour. That's pretty cool.
Okay. Has a song ever made you cry while writing it?
Oh my God.
I think this is a double question of like cried because you were emotional or cried because you were sad because you hated doing it.
Yeah, I cried because I was frustrated.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we've cried. I feel like you've cried because you were frustrated over some of these songs. We were really toiling making them, but I mean, yeah, the sad one.
Dude, that's part of the creative process, man. Sometimes I found the creative process is like you have a song, you're really excited, then you hate it, and you're like, this is the worst song I ever wrote, and then you love it back again. And it's just, you gotta kind of get past that part of hating it, and it ends up working out.
I mean, I remember bawling when I wrote Driver's License. I feel like I cried writing The Grudge. I feel like, I don't know.
You cry. Most sessions you just cry.
I just cry. I'm a crier.
Yeah.
I do cry.
Most of the recording is just you crying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
That's what the album is. That's album 3 is just me crying.
Cry?
ASMR, crying.
It would have to be, oh no, I was going to say cry.
Cries. No.
5 letters. Doesn't work.
Cry. Maybe cry with a Z at the end.
Cries.
Yeah. 4 letters. You heard it here first.
Okay. Jenna Berman asks.
Wait, is Jenna Berman in the house? Is she here? Somewhere?
Yo,
No.
what a shout out though! This is on her the actual YouTube channel. So like, what a shout out! That's
Not here.
crazy.
Maybe she went to the bathroom.
She left. She just put in a question in the question box and left.
She got a matcha and dip.
Matcha and dip? It's like
Yeah, she
Netflix
dipped.
and chill,
Yeah.
matcha and dip?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Do you get nervous before performing, and what do you do beforehand? What do you do to help that nervousness?
Oh yeah, we were so. I mean, us 20 minutes ago, we were really nervous. We were shaking. I'm a big believer in positive visualization, so I like imagine me coming off stage being like, "That was the best show I ever played, and I sang so well."
That's cool.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have the hang of it quite yet. What about you?
I definitely don't. I'm surprised you asked me to come play with you.
Anytime.
Why do you prefer New York for writing? What do you have against Los Angeles?
Yeah, sure.
Shout out to you. So I assume this is New York. Based on the beginning of the video, there was it just looked like the New York streets, and I assumed that this was New York. Shout out New York. Why does she prefer New York over LA for writing? Let's hear this answer.
I mean, I love LA. LA is home. We wrote, I guess, 50-50, half in LA and half in New York, this album.
What's your favorite LA song? What's your favorite New York song?
Oh, that's a great question.
I guess you said, well, no, actually.
Maybe on Guts.
On Guts.
On Guts, my favorite LA song would be All American Bitch, and maybe my favorite New York song is Lacey. We put it into song in New York.
Yeah. All right, Team LA over here.
Yeah. Represent.
Okay. Oh, will you? My reading is so bad. I was like, when will you? No, will you do a Southeast Asia tour?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm going to a bunch of places on this tour.
So what's actually okay? So I was curious whether or not she had known these questions beforehand, based on the answers like earlier. But like that long, slightly awkward, like how do I answer this pause, makes me believe that actually she might not have heard these questions before. Especially, I mean, Dan doesn't even couldn't even read it. So this could be the first time they're hearing this question. Which I think is kind of cool. This is an authentic answer. I don't love if like artists get the questions beforehand, because then you have like this preconceived. For example, I do a lot of interviews on my channel, and like I don't like sending the people the questions first, because then they have these answers that are just kind of feel prefabricated. And I like the authentic, just be honest answer.
That I didn't get to go to last time, so I'm very excited. But I'm also really excited to play LA. I hope I get to see some of you guys there.
Wait, I'm confused, man. Is this New York or is this LA? Where is the Ace Theater? Let me Google this really quick. Ace Theater is where? Ace Theater is in Los Angeles. No, it's in Brooklyn. I'm confused. I don't know. I see actually several Ace Theaters. But in Brooklyn, there's one in Ozone Park. Where is the Ace Theater? Oh, the Ace Theatrical Group is closed in Brooklyn. Ace Theater Hotel is in downtown LA. Who knows? There's some in New York and there's some in LA. So I'm confused. I don't know.
Do you have any songs that you almost put on Guts? Was it hard to cut any songs?
Yeah, it was very hard. I mean, was it hard for you, Dan?
I mean, we fought over what songs to put on the record. There's so many more songs.
Yeah. We all.
I, as a songwriter, hate that. I don't know why artists don't release like the full. Just put it out, like, so what? It's 36 songs. Like, let the audience pick. I don't know. That's one of my pet peeves with the music industry. I don't get the concept of writing a song and not releasing it. I don't know. If you don't finish it, I guess, I understand that concept. But like, if you finish a song, like, let the audience decide. I don't know how many hit songs are out there. Like, what if Olivia's best song she decided not to put out? Like, I don't know. I struggle with that concept.
Almost. There's some bonus tracks that are just on the vinyls. I don't know if any of you guys have vinyls. But we debated for a while. We were like, maybe we don't put The Grudge on the record and we put Obsessed on the record instead.
It was a tough debate.
It was a tough debate. I'm happy with where we landed, but that was an argument.
Yeah, definitely an argument.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last question, which I think oddly perfectly leads us into the next song. Have you ever had an idea for a song in which you guys strongly disagreed with, and what was it? I
mean, I feel like we have a lot of disagreements. That's what makes it fun and interesting.
Yes.
Well, on
she
the
had a very, very unusually comfortable I guess, relationship with her producer. And I say unusual because like usually it seems like they feel like they like almost like seem like they're part of a band together, if that makes sense. Like he's like part of the Olivia Rodrigo act, which is like ideal. But I say unusual because I feel like to some degree a lot of producers and artists there was a bit of a work relationship, where it's like sometimes it gets a little too professionalism, and it's like hard to be like actually share your mind and be like, no, I hate that. Where I feel like either Dan or Olivia would be like, nah, I hate that. Which is cool because then you like kind of get past like the wasted time of like skirting around. Oh, what about this? What about that? Like, no, I don't like this idea. Let's move on. You know, and like that's a hard relationship to develop. So I don't even know how they develop, like how they even really started working together. But like they really, you know, they meshed really well together.
Dan and I really had a difference of opinion over the melody.
Well, we should say that it took us a long time to write this song. Like long time in the sense that like just getting the structure and the melodies took like a full day, I'd say. Whereas like
shorter than I would have anticipated for a long time.
You had kind of the concept. Well, you want to talk about the concept.
Yeah, I mean, I was just driving to the studio and I was trying to come up with ideas, and I was listening to the Smiths, and there's this lyric where he says, "It takes courage to be kind." And I was like really upset at the time, and I was like, what if I don't want to have courage, and what if I don't want to be kind? And so when I got to a stop...
Isn't that cool how art inspires art? See, like that's one of the reasons I like try to read a lot, listen to a lot of music, because you never know. The Smiths, one lyric inspired Olivia Rodrigo's lyric.
I wrote in the notes app of my phone, it takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel very strong. And so I came into the studio and I was like, I wrote this down on the notes app of my phone. Like, do you like this? And he's like, yeah, that's cool. And so we spent like hours crafting.
We literally spent hours just trying to write that melody and chord progression. It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong.
And me and Dan were like, should it be it takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong? Or it takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong? We had an argument about this for truly, like an hour and a half, like something excessive.
And so, unlike most songs in which the chorus is the same, we couldn't agree, so that we literally just made them both different to satisfy the two of us. And then which is really sneaky, I apologize, but basically what I would do is that like every few weeks, because we wrote the song like way early in the process, is that if we went to go work on the song, I would just like change it to the version that I liked, and then like
I wouldn't notice,
hoping that she wouldn't notice at all, and then she'd be like, what? Oh, okay.
Well, you guys can be the judge. Let us know which melody you like better. Here's the garage.
That's really cool, man. A really, really cool concept. Just like, see, songwriting is such an interesting process, and the melody, and like, to be honest, I don't know if I'd really even notice that minor difference in the melody, but that is a cool way to satisfy both. As a songwriter, internally debating sometimes, it's like, do I do this melody, do this? Well, let's try both and see which people gravitate to more. What a cool behind the scenes, actually. There's a lot you can learn from that. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jacob Restituto. If you're new here, appreciate you checking out the channel. Have a great rest of the day. God bless and peace out.